Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you guys are new, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and comment button. And also don't forget to turn your post notifications on to find out when me and Carlos are posting next. So today is just going to be a little bit different. I'm not really going to be doing like a prank or anything. It's actually just about my work experience with my previous job. So basically a story time of how I ended up quitting with the cake. I don't know if you guys have seen the TikTok that my friends have made, but I'll post it right here. So that I have been getting so many questions basically saying like, why did you quit? I thought you were so happy. Like, was it that bad? Like, she's sad. Like, I've been getting so much questions, and I just thought that I should kind of tell you guys basically what really happened and the actual story, because my manager doesn't like to be honest and tell people what really happened. So let's just get right into the video. So back in 2017, I had an iPhone 6 and I broke it and I actually dropped it in urine. So I had to get a new phone. So the next day I went to the phone carrier and I upgraded and got an iPhone 7. So when I upgraded, I was being helped by two people, one of which I know and was working with. I'm just gonna name him D. And he was like, oh, like you should get a job here, like they pay well, blah blah blah. So I think it took me a little bit to finally apply because I for some reason just didn't want to, or maybe I was just nervous, I don't know. So I finally applied, and this was probably like a year later. Finally applied and got the job, went through the drug test, and then I had a starting date. So I started March of 2018, and everybody that I worked with I loved, okay, anything like that. But I will tell you that I've been through 3 managers in the course of 2 years, okay. So let's just fast forward. I don't really know when my manager came, I forgot, but the current district manager, current manager, and current assistant manager, they all quit. So then that meant that we had to have a new staff basically, and they all came from Iowa. They're all friends, and each of them got a job, okay. So one was a district manager, one was my manager, and one was my assistant manager. So when they first came, it was weird, okay, like adjusting and just kind of learning people all over again. And it was annoying, but it was something that we had to do because he was going to be our manager. So a couple of months go by, and the manager, I'm gonna name him Z, he started calling me, texting me, basically asking me for advice. So we were cool, like me and my manager were cool from the beginning, and it didn't start until the first incident. So working for a cellular company, depending on who you work for, you get discounts. So I got a discount on my line as well as my family's line, but this discount was different because if I were to add another person, then they get the like unlimited line for free for the course of a year. So yeah, I'm about to do that. And my brother was with AT&T and was paying like $45 for an iPhone 5 and like 4 gigs of data. So I was like, bet, like I'll just like, hook him up or whatever. So we go in to the place, the cellular place, and I, ask, Z, and I say, okay, like, I'm adding my brother to my phone plan. Like, is this true? Like, is his line gonna be free for the course of a year? He tells me yes. Kay, which is the assistant manager, tells me yes. I'm like, okay, bet. Like, I'm gonna get his phone plan for free. Like, he only has to pay me $14 a month. Like, I'm saving him money. So we get on the phone. We port his number over from AT&T. The phone bill comes around, right? Y'all, it was not free. So I call Z and I'm like, hey, like my bill is higher than I thought. I thought it was free, yada yada yada. And he was like, oh, like, we'll just call the employee hotline. Now I was on the phone with the employee hotline for I don't even know how long, and they were basically telling me the same thing. Then Z starts to text me and say, well, I'll just pay for it for that year because I messed it up, right? Okay. I really wish I had the screenshots because I swear on my life that he literally told me that. So I was like, okay, like, yeah, that's fine. Like, So then he ends up telling people that he never said that. Okay. So I don't like when people lie to me, and I don't like when you tell me one thing and do another. So he was telling people that he never said that and that I should have looked on iConnect. And iConnect is like another resource for us to ensure that we're telling customers the right thing with phones and blah blah, right? Granted, I should have looked on iConnect. Yeah, I'm not saying that he's wrong, but the fact that I trusted you and I should have, right? Okay. So at this point, he's then messed up my phone bill, has lied about not paying me for the course of a year, and now is blaming me for it. Y'all, never to this day have I ever gotten an apology. Like, never. Like, never. So I didn't talk to him for 4 months. Like, I didn't, because I was like, if you want to sit there and lie, go ahead. But I don't mess with you. I don't trust you at all. As time went by, I kind of just forgave the situation. I couldn't change it or do nothing. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like when people confront me on a work floor. Like, if you're gonna say something to me, wait until I'm done with my customer, and then you can take me to the back and say something to me. Because you doing it on the floor is so unprofessional. So I was helping this couple out. They had iPhone XS Maxes in 256, right? They wanted the Pro Max in 256, but I forgot, okay? And it's okay, people forget, people make mistakes, it's not that big of a deal, right? You would only assume so. Typically, if you have a 256 with a 256, everything transfers over if they didn't go above that 256. They go out, they go and grab lunch and they come back and their stuff's not transferred. Their stuff's not transferred. It's not because of the 256 and 256, but it's because it was my bad that I accidentally gave them a 64. Obviously, 256 and 64, it's just not going to transfer your stuff, right? So I'm helping my customer, I'm helping my customer, and he comes through this crack and basically like whispers it. You can't promise people we'll transfer stuff because if we don't, then this happens. And it caught me off guard, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So after I'm done helping my customer, I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, these customers, you told them that we'd be able to transfer up. And I'm like, you should be able to. So then it clicked, okay? It clicked. It's because I gave him a 64 gigabyte phone, okay? Easy fix, y'all. So after that happened, I go in the back. I work with my best friend, so I'm telling her what happened, okay? So I'm like, he's all mad because like we're not supposed to be telling customers that we can promise transfers. And then my manager comes in the back and he was like yelling, okay, like disrespectful yelling. And he was like, you don't need to promise people that we, you know, like going off basically on me. And I'm like, if I were to talk to you like that, you would not like it. So don't talk to me like I'm some 5-year-old can't comprehend anything, because that's not how it's gonna happen. So he, after he's done yelling at me about promising people, right? Like, I'm like, the only issue was the 256, and that was my bad. And guys, guess what happened after we exchanged them for a 256? Everything transferred over. I planned a painting date with my boyfriend. Okay? It was a Saturday. I was supposed to get to his place, which is about 50 minutes away. Get ready. We were gonna go painting at 7:30, so that meant I had to get off at 5. Well, I think it was like 4:30. Got there around 5:36, so that we can leave to go painting. I was helping this customer. Granted, I sold the tablet. I sold the new line. Customer loved it. Perfect. Okay. No, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough, guys. So I go in the back, you know, I'm changing. I changed out of my work clothes into some nice clothes, right? I changed, I clocked out. I'm ready to go. Okay. He goes, hey, can we chat? So I'm like, sure, why not? Mind you, this semester has been the most stressful semester ever. I did 17 credits, 10 hours a week at my internship, and they're working 30 hours, trying to find sleep, trying to find social time, trying to live my best life, you know? So there's are times where I don't want to talk to people. There are times that I'm to myself, and that's okay. I don't have to talk to people for them to know that I'm okay. He pulls me aside. And y'all, I don't know about you guys, but if I was a manager and I wanted to talk to somebody, I would be like, how's it going? You know, how's school? No, you know what normal people do, okay? No, he didn't do that. Instead of asking me how I'm doing and how's school and how's life and how are you feeling, he said, do you like your job? Do I like my job? I've been here for 2 years. So I respond, I do my job because I do it. And he goes, well, do you like it? Again, I do my job. Okay. So at that point, I knew what this conversation was going to be about, and it wasn't going to be anything great. The next question he asks me, why do you lie? Okay. We have to sell these little things. They're like this big. It's a drive and it's a tracker, okay? The tracker is like a tile. The drive goes into your car. It tracks it. It does all that shenanigan stuff, okay? So he says that I lie because I don't demo them. Now let me remind you guys, I have a Sprint drive in my car. That thing don't even work. They were supposed to send me a new one. It worked for like a good year and it stopped working. But anyways, we have to sell it, and I had one. I just showed them, you know, on my phone, something tangible, something they can hold on to, so that they knew what it did and they would see the use of it. That's how I sold my drive. So then he goes to then tell me that I'm mad. Now, I want to stress this a lot because he came from Iowa, okay? You're coming from Iowa to in a workplace where majority of your coworkers are of color. So for you to sit there and not even take time to know your coworkers and know what not to say, it's your fault. So at that point, after he said that, I was livid, okay? And I don't know what his intentions were, if he wanted me to blow up so that he could fire me, but I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. At that point, I'm bawling my eyes out, and I'm not bawling because I'm a crybaby, but I'm bawling because I'm so angry and I want to basically like say the things that I want to say, but I'm not going to because I want to keep it professional. So he's like, well, you don't talk to anybody. I don't talk to anybody. With the talk to nobody, like, I'm always the one that is reaching out to everybody saying, hey, how's it going? I'm always doing that, but no one wants to ask me how school is. No one wants to ask me how I'm doing. Negative. I'm like, why can't y'all talk to me? Like, why can't you guys reach out to me and ask me how I'm doing? I did say that I wasn't gonna kiss your. I did say that because I wasn't. After I said that, he was like, I'm not asking you to do that, like, but in a like a yelling voice, okay? Like, it wasn't no like soft. And I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely what you're doing. You're wanting me to do it, and I'm not doing it. After that, I decided to leave the conversation because emotions were everywhere. And I was like, I'm not dealing with it. No. So as I'm like bawling my eyes out, I walk out and I'm like, I'm not doing this. And then he was like, yes, you are. And then I left. So I'm on my way to see my boyfriend to go painting. And I called my sister, and my sister was like, take it to HR. That's so unprofessional, you know. And she's like, you need a new job. Like, you cannot keep working there because it is mentally draining. So mind you, this company's HR sucks. Doesn't do anything. Anyways, so then after that happened, I was off for that weekend because I think it was Saturday and Sunday off, I believe. So I had that Sunday off. Then I came back to work on Monday, and I found out that he told everybody that I was crazy. He told everybody that I kind of blew it out of proportion and that I started yelling for no reason, and that all he asked me was, do you like your job? So then I go in and I fill them in on what actually happened. And everybody was like, okay, that sounds more like the story, but he did not tell us that at all. Liar. Like I mentioned before, you know, the whole thing is maybe he wanted to spark something so that I would say something and then he could fire me. So, you know, one day we were at work and, you know, it was a group of us working. I actually found out that they wanted to fire me after that. That my manager actually talked to my district manager and basically said that I went crazy, and the district manager was like, well, just fire her. But you can't just fire me, can you? No. You have to have a reason to fire somebody. That's when I was like, shady, super shady. So I'm gonna let you guys know, when me and my manager were cool, he let me and my best friend take off of work for a week, even when we had 4 people working. After all the stuff that has happened, he denies a request to spend 3 days for my best friend's birthday in Chicago. So my best friend was celebrating her 23rd birthday in Chicago. Again, that was prior to COVID. She wanted to have a spa day, go out to the club, just have a good time. She was turning 23. So it's me and this other girl that are friends with my best friend. And my best friend was like, hey, is it possible if I could have both of them come? Well, he said no because we're understaffed. Ended up saying no to both of us because our schedules didn't fit, okay? We were only available on the weekends, which he knew about. He accepted the availability because I was going to school, and he knew that the other girl had another job that she had to go to. So he was like, nope, because your friends have an availability of only the weekends, so nope, can't do it. So in that case, I'm like, okay, so you knew about my availability. You knew that I had school. So basically you're telling me that I'll never have a day off. Like, I can't even enjoy myself for a weekend. So he denied the request. And mind you, we were overstaffed. Not even overstaffed, y'all. We were staffed. Like, the store on the south side was closing, so everybody that was working there was coming to our store. So we were gonna have enough people to be okay. But because of everything that happened between us, I know for a fact that he used that against declining my request. So as COVID goes on, it ends up being the weekend that we were supposed to go to Chicago. What a coincidence. All of us are off. So I am officially moved out of my house and I am living with my boyfriend until our new place. In July, we move out July 11th. That's when we pick our keys up. So I moved with the intentions of just transferring stores. Not that the company was really bad, the management staff that I worked for was really bad. So, you know, with the intentions of transferring to a different district, you know, you would only assume, yeah, you've been with the company for 2 years. Yes, absolutely, yada, yada, yada. But it didn't happen. And this is why. So when we talk about results, we talk about how well you're doing in the company, okay? We're talking about composite scores. With the uncomfortable environment, that has definitely shifted my success at the store that I was currently working at. So the district manager of the district that I wanted to go to had to talk to my district manager of my current, right? And have to talk to my manager, okay? So I don't know what was said between them. I don't know if they were throwing me under the bus. I don't know what they were saying, but I heard that they were promoting me. I don't think they were, if I'm being completely honest, because if you're promoting someone, shouldn't they get it? Right. Okay. Anyways, so I emailed the district manager because it was taking a long time to hear back from them. I emailed her from my personal email, and I'll put that right here. And I didn't get a response from her at all. So I was off for like a week because our hours had decreased. And so I went to work on Monday and I sent her an email from my work email and basically said like, hey, I just want to know what the process is like. So then I text my DM and I'm like, hey, have you heard anything back from her? And he's like, no, I haven't, but I'll text her. So I'm like, okay, cool. Thinking that everything's gonna be fine, that they'll find a place for me. Then I get an email from her. But in the email, it basically said that due to your results and attitude, that we will not be proceeding with the transfer process. When I read it, I was in complete shock. I was in awe almost. Like, I didn't really know how to feel. Like, I was like, what? So at that moment, I knew that they threw me under the bus. I knew that even though they said some good stuff about me, they might have said some stuff that was just something that someone didn't want to deal with. But what was even more harsh to understand is that she never came to me woman to woman, because I really wish that she would have came and emailed me and said, hey, I heard you're, you know, coming to this district. How are you as a person? You know, just getting that personal feel of who the person is. But no, he didn't do that. Nope. So of course it's gonna be their word over mine, and that's when I knew that this company wasn't for me anymore. That's when I decided to quit the most unprofessional way ever, with a cake. And I had seen this done so many times, and I never thought that I would ever be doing it, because you want to be professional, you know, you want to quit with a 2 weeks notice. But at this point I had had it with them, with her, with HR, with everybody in general, and I just felt so targeted. It was May 1st. I was scheduled to work 9:30 to 5. I specifically texted the assistant manager that was working that day, and I'll actually put it right here, basically telling him that I wasn't coming in to work, but I will be coming in at 12. And he was so confused. He was like, wait, what's going on? Like, and mind you, no one knew. Like, only my best friend knew that I was quitting with a cake. So I came in around like 1 o'clock, and I basically, I came in there. I wrote emails, one to the district manager of where I was going to go to, and one to just basically the whole store, basically telling them my story, and the fact that I was leaving the company and how important it is to advocate for yourself. I went into the store. I was dressed in jeans, a shirt. I wasn't even in my work gear. And everybody was like, what? Like, confused. So I got on the computer and I sent out the emails, okay? And I will actually post the emails right here. So one I sent to, again, the district manager of where I was gonna go to, and one to the whole store. So after I sent that, I kind of sat there and just kind of hung out with my coworkers. I waited for my manager to get out the bathroom, and I was like, hey, I brought y'all a cake. And my manager was like, "Aw." And then I opened it and I said, I quit. And his reaction was like, to like, what the heck? I was just like, I want to thank everyone for this experience, but it's just not for me. Like, it's just not for me. I didn't say too much because I let the email speak for itself. And my manager was like, my manager was like, so where are you working out? And I told him where I was working, and he was like, you know, I don't think that they saw this coming. I mean, I didn't see this coming at all, but that's basically what happened with everything, and I'm so glad to be gone. So that is it for the story time. And I am so proud to say that I will be starting a new job 2 days after I graduate, which is actually the 12th of May. Y'all, I actually got a new job the same day I found out that they denied my request to transfer. So when I tell you, when one door closes, another one opens, baby, let me tell you, it does, okay? Just gotta be patient. But yeah, so I will be starting a new job on the 12th, and as well as starting my own business. Comment what you guys think. I mean, comment, tell me your experiences working, if you've ever been treated like this, or tell me how you responded, if it was as crazy as mine or anything like that, because I want to let you guys know that if you've ever been through this, you're not the only person. And when people told me that I always looked happy at work, yeah, I was happy when he wasn't around, and that was because I had such a good support system from my coworkers that it triumphed any problems that I had with my manager. But the moment my manager walked in, it was like so bad. So again, like this video, subscribe, and again, comment. That is it for the video though. I hope you guys did enjoy it. A lot of me talking, but it's the past 6 months has been crazy and brutal. I will see you guys in my next video.